Welcome to the beautiful Cayman Islands as we continue our coverage here on Flow Hoops. It is the Cayman Island Classic Basketball Tournament, 4th edition, day 2, as we've got 4 games coming up here this afternoon and this evening from the Cayman Islands, and getting ready for game number 1 between Western Kentucky taking on the Illinois State Redbirds. And we take a look at what transpired yesterday. Illinois State dropping to LSU and Akron beating Western Kentucky. Hence, our first matchup here in our 4 games at John Gray Gymnasium. And we are underway here at John Gray Gymnasium. Jess Huddles and Scott Warman with you. Jess, looking forward to a big day of basketball here, buddy.
Another great day of basketball. Great to be with you, partner. Some excellent teams. Maybe the most surprising result from yesterday was Akron just dominating Western Kentucky. That rarely happens to the Hilltoppers. They're going to come out here as a team on a mission, try to get some revenge, try to get back on pace.
All right, so Emmanuel Acott wearing number 30 today, wore 13 yesterday, and so he will head to the free throw line and try to get our first points of day 2 action of the Cayman Islands Classic Basketball Tournament here from John Gray Gymnasium. You mentioned Western Kentucky. You have to think that they got a little thorn in their side after what happened at Akron. Akron went right at them. In fact, for the Hilltoppers, they shot a season-low 28% from the field, bud.
Yeah, 28% from beyond the arc, 37% overall. This is a team that's been leading the country in three-point shooting. And the big story, you talk about going right at them, like you said, Jamar Sharp picks up 2 fouls in the first 5 minutes of that game, only played 12 minutes, totally changed the chess match for Western Kentucky, and they never recovered from that foul trouble.
We talked about in so many of the games yesterday, it was the opening 5-10 minutes of the game that really set the pace for a lot of these games. Same can be said for Illinois State. Not a very good first half, but they did battle back in the second half and try to make a game of it against LSU.
You're exactly right. The same story for Illinois State. The first 5 minutes of the game yesterday, turned the ball over, took bad shots, got themselves in a hole they couldn't recover from. But in the second half, they came out and played the way they wanted to play. A lot more toughness and intelligence with the basketball.
Frampton's three-point attempt is just short. Here's McChesney from the outside, rims out, and the rebound taken by McKnight. He was actually the one guy, McKnight, who kind of ignited this team to keep him in the game in the first half against Akron.
Well, he's a first-team all-league preseason pick for a reason. He's one of the stronger guards in the country. He stuffs the stat sheet. He's always flirting with triple-doubles. And this is what he does best. Attack the rim, can use either hand. I'll tell you what, he kept him in it yesterday. Only ended up with 1 assist. That just goes to show you how poorly Western Kentucky shot the rock.
Yeah. Finished with 12 points in the loss to the Zips. Of course, the Zips taking on LSU in our second game today. That's immediately following this contest. Sandage from downtown. And a lot of contact down low trying to get that rebound.
You gotta like the way Sandage plays the game of basketball. He was outstanding in the second half yesterday. Moves really well without the ball, gets himself open. Those are just shots when you're playing against a team with the size and length of Western Kentucky. Those have to go down. Illinois State's gonna have to shoot a high percentage from beyond the arc in this one. And those are the ones right there. You can't rim them. You got to shoot 67% on your wide open threes.
Burford pulls up and hits. And he's been one of the hotter Illinois State players over the last 3 games.
Yeah, 17.5 points per game. He's rebounded at 3 rebounds clips. He's got 11 assists. Been one of the better guards in the country over the last 3 games. And well, he's got that teardrop mastered. He's not afraid to take it in among the bigs.
Acott amongst the bigs. Last touch by Western Kentucky. Illinois State will get the possession.
You Talked to Burford's folks before the game. They came down to the island, want to make a vacation out of it.
Nice.
Watch their son, Daniel and Serena. I said, how's he going to deal with the 7'5" Sharp protecting the rim? They said it won't be a problem for him. He grew up playing against bigger kids, older kids. He'll have no fear taking the ball into the paint.
Second night trying to get some help. Oh, good strip by Frampton. Frampton not afraid to pull it up. That's why. It took him a while yesterday to get going. And that's what you expect out of Frampton. He is one of the elite three-point shooters you'll see.
Yeah, came into this tournament shooting over 80% from beyond the arc. And if you're going to get confused defensively, you can't get confused when you're around him. Two guys for Illinois State, not sure who to guard. They leave Frampton, and he makes them pay. Great cut by McKnight. But at the other end here, Lewis has got to step up his game. Had 9 points, 7 turnovers in the opening round. Just missed a wide-open layup right there. He's got to find his confidence quickly. All of those shots are critical. He gets a shot block right there.
Sharp with the block. Aycott kicking it out. Frampton once again. And Knight will pull down the miss.
A great shot by Lewis to move his feet, stay in front of Aycott. Again, when you're undersized, you have to knock down those three-point shots.
Timeout on the floor. 15:57 just underway. Day 2 coverage of the Cayman Islands Classic Basketball Tournament on Flow Hoops. And Luke Frampton already hitting a 3 early on, and one of the guys we are keen on as far as Western Kentucky is concerned here in this tournament.
Yeah, he's 15 of 22 from beyond the arc. You can't leave him open. He'll torch the nets.
Back at John Gray Gymnasium, it is game 1, day 2 coverage. Illinois State taking on Western Kentucky, and the Hilltoppers off to an early lead at 9-2. With my partner Jess Settles, Scott Warman. Great to be back, man.
Good to see you, buddy. It's pretty cold in the Midwest.
Somebody got a lot of sleep last night. He's a happy camper. Hey, I'll tell you what, we mentioned it's going to have some great basketball again today, and looking forward to especially this matchup because Western Kentucky, well, they got a little chip on their shoulder after what happened against Akron and Coach Stansberry, as we see there. And not only that, they are without Dante Allen. And with Dante Allen being out, not eligible, at least for the first 2 games of that tournament, that's really kind of hurt this ball club.
Yeah, he was a little frustrated about the entire situation. I mean, you're expecting a guy to play, then all of a sudden he can't play, and you're not sure what's going on. It messed up his rotations, you know, the strategy. And then Sharp gets in foul trouble early in the game. You got to give Akron a ton of credit for attacking, and nobody's been able to do that over the last couple of years. So just one of those things where nothing goes right going into the game, and then they don't shoot the ball well at all. Give Akron credit in that area as well. But this is one of the top shooting teams in the country, and they just got beat. And now you got to play in these morning games. Not a lot of fans in the gym, and it makes it tough to get up for these games.
McChesney giving Sharp a little taste of his own medicine. How about that?
Now that's the nation's leading shot blocker. This is what he does to everybody else in the country, and gets a little taste of his own medicine. McChesney, big time block, great timing, and great cut by Frampton. He's not just a three-point shooter.
McChesney's parents actually here. Liam from Vancouver. And Liam's parents have been here probably about a week before the team got here, so they've actually enjoyed the islands, which I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to be in Canada right now either.
No doubt. Little 3-2-3 zone to start it out. Then they switch to man. Try to force a tough shot late in the shot clock. That's a good look.
And a make. That's even more important. That's their second field goal that they have dropped. in this opening 5 minutes.
It's so nice to see Seneca playing better. He had 14 points yesterday, 5 of 7 from the floor. He's going to have to step up his game, and he's so much more active in this tournament than what he's been the first couple games.
Yep.
He's running the floor better. He's got a chance to be a great player this year.
Absolutely. Talking to some of the Illinois State people before the tournament, they said that they expect a little bit more out of Seneca and was hoping maybe this week the light would turn on, if you will. McChesney from downtown.
Oh, he's showing us something. I mean, the block shot against the 7'5" All-American. The reigning three-point shot. He plays hard. He runs the floor. I mean, the sky's the limit for him as well.
And a travel as McKnight was double teamed. Maybe a little too much dribbling there, Jess.
He's a very aggressive point guard, extremely strong, but don't you just love the energy by Illinois State compared to yesterday?
Absolutely.
I mean, they just, that first 5 minutes yesterday, they played so out of character, and they were ready to fight in this one. Coach Stansbury was worried about the three-point shooting. He did not want his guys to collapse. Illinois State pretty quick on the perimeter, and they're going to get those looks. First couple possessions, they weren't able to knock them down, but the extra pass, moving the ball side to side, that's what they're looking for.
Now Lewis at the block. Again, Western Kentucky going with the zone again on this possession. Oh, Sanders finally found his range. Third time's the charm beyond the arc.
I was talking to Andrew Dockage before the game, assistant coach for Illinois State. He said, look, we've got to move the ball side to side. We feel like if all 5 guys will touch it and we can swing it around the perimeter, that we will have opportunities at open shots. My goodness, a war at the rim.
Seneca Knight just going after the 7'5" Jamarian Sharp. Ryan Payton, the head coach at Illinois State in his first year, as we alluded to yesterday, 5 years as a top assistant over at Ohio State. And Jess, you mentioned how you've known this guy for a while, and so happy that he's finally getting that head coaching opportunity.
Yeah, it's just so hard to get these opportunities. He's the right man for the job. I mean, he's been in every gym in the Midwest over the last 15 years, worked at Butler, Illinois, Ohio State, knows every AAU coach. Obviously, this NIL and transfer portal is going to be tough to manage, and it's really hard on these mid-majors. Everybody wants to come and take your players after you develop them, but he's got a nice squad. Very impressed with their toughness in this first 7 minutes. Yesterday, they got a little overwhelmed, and they're coming out in this one to win it.
Good defense by Western Kentucky. Marshall, too strong, and the follow-up 0 for 2 on the lay-ins. Now in transition, Knight right after Sharp, and he'll go to the free throw line. They are not intimidated by the 7'5" Sharp. They, meaning Illinois State.
No question. A great job by Lewis sprinting the court. They had to honor him. Knight with a little hesitation, a little look away. That was the perfect decision in a split second to get to the free throw line. And you're right, they're going to attack the rim.
I go back to Western Kentucky's game yesterday. Freeman set the tone with that slam early on, and obviously Illinois State saw the tape of that game. We're like, well, I think we might be able to do the same thing that Akron did.
Yeah, coaches and great players always say, look, you can't be intimidated by the 7-footers. You have to go at them. You have to attack the rim. But man, that's easier said than done when you're 6'2" and you're going in there against a 7'5" guy. So far, Sharp has not found his game. He's got to get some rhythm, get some block shots, get some dunks, and get some bounce back to his game. Right now, he's just struggling.
Malachi Moit-Dexter with the steal. Illinois State with a stifling defense over the last 4 minutes.
There he is.
Nice with the triple, and Illinois State takes the lead 16-13.
If he can play like this, then Illinois State's going to make some noise in conference play. And then you watch him on tape, been rushing some shots, trying to conquer. And here's Lewis and Illinois State with a windmill. Raise the roof. They are ready to play.
7-0 run for the Redbirds. And the lay-in. Even though it was contested, Rawls gets the lay-in and the foul. But where's it all start from, Jess? Starts with the defense by Illinois State. They clamp down, and right now, 11:50 left in our opening half, and Illinois State has the 3-point lead. Jess Settles, it is raining Redbird threes right now here at John Gray.
Yeah, they've hit 4 in a row. Started out 0 for 4, and we talked about they were getting the looks they wanted, just rimming those shots. Have to make that Western Kentucky defense pay, but only 2 turnovers for Illinois State. When they move the ball side to side, knock in their open shots, and don't turn the ball over, they feel like they can compete with anybody, but just so impressed with their game plan early in this first 10 minutes.
Seneca Knight already with 8 points in the opening half. I know Redbird fans are ecstatic to see him get going. As you pointed out, really a key cog to the addition and the new development that Ryan Peden has with this Illinois State Redbird club.
And I had in my notes coming into this tournament, he's got to play better. If he can play better, they can have a great year. And sometimes you come to a tournament like this, you get away from home, you get to hit the restart button, and he's been impressive. And if you're Western Kentucky, you've got to find those 3-point shooters. Make Illinois State put the ball on the floor, force turnovers. They're prone to turn the ball over. And at the offensive end, you got to feed the post. Play inside out. Stop trying to play one-on-one so much and move the basketball around the perimeter.
The game yesterday for Illinois State, they just got so frustrated early on. Got a little bit more of a flow in that second half. Malachi Poindexter was another guy, along with Lewis, that looked like just completely out of sorts in that opening 20 minutes. Good to see him get on the board for the Redbird fans.
LSU is so physical, right? They're just physical at all 5 spots, and they push you off your spots and wear you down and foul you, and it just gets a little bit overwhelming.
Lou Jun getting his first 2 of the afternoon. We go back to a zone for Western Kentucky.
Ryan Lewis in that short corner. Wow. Tracks. Another tough 3-point shot.
That's his specialty. Very nicely done. Off the glass for Rawls. He's tough on that dribble drive.
He has that in his game. Just lightning quick. Takes the ball. Nobody steps up and challenges him. But if you're Illinois State, you can live with those tough runners.
Good hustle by Petrakis. However, last touch by him, and it'll go the other way for the Hilltoppers. Just love the energy you're seeing from Illinois State right now.
I tell you, it's something as a coach and a player when your team's hitting threes, isn't it?
Yep.
I mean, this is a team shooting 32% from beyond the arc. Coaches can't shoot for you. They put you in a position to succeed, and you've got to knock them down. And yesterday they can't hit anything. They got out-toughed. And today they come out, they got 5 in a row now from beyond the arc, and then you get a ton of energy at the defensive end. And Kendall Lewis, great steal in the open court, playing hard at the defensive end. I mean, just a walking double-double.
Rawls short on that attempt. Burford back into the game. Lewis a little strong on that 3 attempts. Lander, the Indiana transfer, brings it up for the Hilltoppers. the foul as Marshall on the drive, the foul before the shot. The other thing, noticing at least early on, and we're just midway through the first half, is especially with Illinois State, a lot of substitutions, guys coming in and out, in and out. And you and I, in fact, asked Coach Pete in this after his practice early on Sunday morning, is the fact that, you know, you got 3 games in 3 days, and he said, yeah, we're going to have to use a lot of our rosters, so we have a lot in the tank once you get to day 3.
Yeah, no question. We already have a lot of guys banged up for a lot of teams, some sickness, some injuries, and that. You talk about a breakdown defensively. That's the guy for Western Kentucky you cannot let get a shot off, especially on those baseline out of bounds when you know the scouting report says they're going to come to him. Look at the ball movement, though, for Illinois State. Side to side, everybody's touching it.
Oh, what a steal by Rawls. And he gets the lay-in, and the Hilltoppers take the lead. Jordan Rawls, the senior from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Lighting a little spark for Western Kentucky. Burford hits the triple.
When you're trying to attack that zone, you want to get the ball to the high post or the short corners, and they were able to get it to the short corner. Chesney with a perfect skip pass out to the open shooter. That is textbook how to break down a zone defense. Man, I'll tell you what, though, Western Kentucky not afraid to take it to the rim. Excellent job just attacking, forcing whistles. Nobody for Illinois State able to step up in the last 2 or 4 possessions defensively.
Down low. 7-4 remaining in our open game as these two teams.
Somewhere on the sea, somewhere waiting for me. My lover stands on golden sands and watches the ships that go sailing.
Back at the Cayman Islands Classic Basketball Tournament, Game 1, Day 2 coverage, Illinois State and Western Kentucky. And just when we were thinking and looking over the scouting report for Illinois State, it was Kendall Lewis was the guy that we really focused on, a rebounding machine. Really held silent for the first half yesterday, but started to pick things up at times in that second half.
Yeah, came into this tournament as one of the leading rebounders in all the country, and this tournament is the best thing that could happen to his game going forward. He had to come in and go up against these Power 5 teams, the strength and length of LSU, and try to prove himself. Now, he got outplayed yesterday, but he can take a lot from that game. He's got to be tougher. He's got to make quicker decisions. And when he does get the opportunity to finish the rim, he has to capitalize.
On the other side, Davion McKnight igniting that team yesterday, especially in the first half where they were just so frustrated in that opening half against Akron and their tough D.
Yeah, everybody, if you coach the game, you dream of having a point guard like him. He's so physical, extremely unselfish, can score at all 3 levels, and just makes everybody around him better, trying to will his team to a win. It is tough to get your guys up. When you lose the opening round of one of these Thanksgiving tournaments, it is really hard to come out and fight. And he's trying to get his guys energy. They have not played well in this first half, but they're tied. And we talked about it yesterday, and we'll talk about it a lot today. This is the premier mid-major team in the country. These guys will play anybody, anywhere, at any time. They've got multiple wins against Power 5 teams over the last 5 years. I believe it's 11. And they will just take on anybody. No one wants to play them. And these types of tournaments are very important for them to build their resume. Otherwise, unfortunately, most years, you've got to win your conference tournament championship game to get into the big dance. And, you know, it just doesn't seem right. These guys can play with anybody. But when you lose that opening round of your tournament, it's tough to get up in the morning and find that strength and energy to come out and compete. No excuses. Illinois right now, they were ready to play.
They have come out with a ton of energy in this opening 20 minutes, especially again from the defensive end. A lot of the defense has created the offense, and as Jess pointed out, stroking the ball from beyond the arc. 6 of 13 so far in the first half, as they're shooting the ball so much better in this opening 20 minutes. Aycott's been very quiet in the opening half, along with Sharp. Kotoff checking in, and there's a steal. Knight kicks it out. Sandage didn't have the shot. Burford can't save it, over and back. Turnover for Illinois State. Illinois State had 19 turnovers in the game yesterday. That's just their 4th so far in this first half.
Yeah, again, talking to Andrew Dockich, the assistant coach for Illinois State before the game, that's really going to be the statistic for us all season long. If they can keep it around 8 to 10 turnovers, they're going to be in every game this year. You get up around 20, you're going to have a hard time winning the conference game.
McKnight in the land of the Giants. Boy, Sharp couldn't handle the pass, a little too hot. Last touch, however, by the Redbirds.
Jamar just not himself.
No.
I mean, picked up the foul trouble early yesterday, only played 12 minutes, comes out in this one, gets his shot blocked, can't catch the basketball, just not playing with a lot of confidence right now. And he needs to get himself going at the defensive end. He needs to get some shots blocked, get some rebounds, start the fast break. Right now, offensively, he's just a non-factor.
Needs a confidence builder. Kotoff, we see him for the first time in the tournament for the Redbirds. We're number 25. Knight trying to get a pick. And that's going to be an offensive foul on the pick by Kotoff.
You know, still 11, 12 seconds left in the shot clock. That's one where McKnight probably wants to move it on. That's what we're talking about. They've found success snapping the ball around the perimeter, then attacking as the defense shifts, and then kicking out. But if they just square up and go one-on-one, it is hard with those big guys in there to attack them.
Aycott for 3.
You know, why do the Hilltoppers get so many open threes? Because McKnight can post smaller guards up. I mean, he plays the center position right there. He's crab dribbling down. Defense collapses a little bit. Then he kicks it out to the open shooter. Burford wants to foul. His dad said he wouldn't be afraid. He did not care who was at the rim. He'll just put that teardrop a little higher than he's used to. He's done it twice now.
Aycott with the double team. That makes Sharp wide open for the mid-range jumper. And we'll go back the other way, Redbird basketball.
So the Hilltoppers are going to try to score quickly. They're going to try to strike quickly in the shot clock. They've had some success at attacking the rim using their quickness. But Illinois State, they want to guard their yard without fouling. Play the percentages. Don't bail those guys out. You just keep your hand up and move your feet, and you have an advantage defensively. It's when you foul them or overplay them that they hurt you. There's the high post against the zone. Good pass. Another good pass. That's not going to work against the 7'5" guy.
There's a little disadvantage there. I don't know if you're a body language guy, but just reading a little bit of the body language right now, it definitely holds the advantage for the Redbirds. Because Western Kentucky just doesn't seem like themselves right now.
I agree. More energy, more passion, more toughness.
The track is from the corner.
I think that hit the side of the backboard, didn't it?
I think it did too, yeah. McKnight trying to get some help as he picked up his dribble. Oh, man, that's a tough turnover there. Ouch.
It feels like Illinois State's up 10.
It does.
And they're down in this game.
I know.
Doesn't it?
It just... It's like Western Kentucky is just sulking. You're winning by 1. Sandage gets a wide open look. That's off the mark. And here comes Akron and the Hilltoppers trying to add to that 1-point lead.
This is what Akron can do. He can rebound, defend, and he can play point forward and push the ball. And Hamilton's not messing around on the post. They've found some success posting up Hamilton and McKnight, playing those big guards down on the block, and now they parade to the free throw line.
Well, he had a mismatch here with Sandage. Definitely has the size advantage, and they use that to their advantage and looking to try to complete a pair of free throws here.
And we mentioned it a couple minutes ago. Illinois State has to guard without fouling. If they're going to hit those turnaround jumpers in the paint, I mean, you tip your hat to them and move on, but you don't want to bail them out every time they get in there with a foul.
Looks like we have maybe a McKnight. I'd have a cut on his elbow, and so he'll head over to the Hilltoppers bench area and get taken care of from the training staff for the Hilltoppers. Recap again yesterday, the final results. Of course, LSU, they'll play in the next game against Akron. And then last night, it was a grudge match between Nevada and Tulane. And then, of course, we wrapped it up with the show put on by Kansas State. They were just on their toes from the start of the opening tip, Jess.
Well, they're going to have a great year. They are so versatile, and it just seemed like everyone who came in the game was a great player.
Yep.
And played the right way.
Their bench is averaging almost 25 points a game. And for Coach Tang, the depth that he has on that club, and as we mentioned, the chemistry with so many different parts coming in year 1 at such an early part of the season was really impressive. Time winding down. Burford going right to the 7'5" Sharp, and he earns a trip to the free throw line.
Petrarca's has been very impressive. I mean, he gets the ball at the high post there, collapses his zone defense, doesn't force it, moves the ball around, then it swings back. And when they can get that extra pass, Western Kentucky just a little slow on those shifts, and Burford, he is not afraid to get to the rim, and this is what he's been doing over the last 2 or 3 games. He's been one of the better guards in the country, been very efficient, shooting the ball well, parading to the free throw line. You got to love playing with a guy like this who can score from the point guard position, but also can make the extra pass.
Excellent free throw shooter, shooting 88% heading into this week's tournament in Cayman Islands.
And that was around 92%, I believe, after making that one.
Luke Kozupke checks in, and this is the young man we told you about yesterday who was not available with some food poisoning, and getting some minutes here. When we talked to the folks at Illinois State before the game, they said he was with the club today, but probably not at 100%. And we'll see how many minutes that Luke gets in after missing yesterday's game.
If you're Western Kentucky, you are in the bonus, so you want to be aggressive going to the rim. And if you're Illinois State, you do not want to bail them out with fouls.
Loose ball. Great hustle. And Hamilton again off the glass.
A great job by Western Kentucky to come up with the 50-50 offensive rebound. Those are the plays that they're used to making. And if you're going to give these guys 2 opportunities to score, they're going to take advantage of it. Hamilton refused to settle for a long 3, just attack the rim, either scores or draws a whistle. Very high IQ possession by Western Kentucky.
And the foul by Frampton. That is just the 3rd team foul. 18 fouls for Illinois State as 2:56 remaining in our opening half. Quite a battle here between the Hilltoppers and the Redbirds.
Drink it in. Powerful. vibrant, nutrient-rich fuel for healthy, active, experience-rich lives. Each ingredient chosen carefully, every blend crafted masterfully. Nurturing your passion, nourishing your purpose.
You get to skip school
Yes.
to come watch college basketball. That's a pretty good deal.
I knew you would like that.
I mean, do you have to?
Do you know anybody else that would do that?
I mean, do you have to write a little paper and then turn it in what you saw and you get graded on that for the day?
I don't know. Do Settles kids have to do that?
Hey, the Settles kids have skipped a little school, but half of them are at the beach and didn't want to come to the game. So I don't know. You can't blame them, can you? This is one of the most beautiful beaches in all the world.
Oh, my goodness.
Cruise ships pulling in here every day. It's just that sand on your feet. There's just nothing like it. The weather's perfect. The water's warm. Just a great opportunity for the coaches and the fans, and especially for the players, right? These are the benefits of playing at this level. You can never take this opportunity for granted. And it's not about just the competition, the world-class education, but it's trips like these that you bond, you make friends for life, and just broaden your horizons and see what else is out there. Work on your tan a little bit.
Absolutely. Kasupke at the line. Transfer from Kansas State, played 30 games for the Wildcats last season before the transfer to Central Illinois. Played at Chaminade High School in St. Louis, the home of David Lee, Jason Tatum, and Bradley Beal. Petrakis.
Great strategy by Illinois State to slap that three-quarter court press on, and there's just something about a press. If you sprinkle it in once in a while, it makes a point guard lose his mind. Even the great point guards struggle against pressure defense, and they got a great opportunity there, an extra possession in this game, and then they shoot the air ball. So great call by the coaches, great execution defensively, wide open shot. And then Western Kentucky gives it back here with a foolish foul at the offensive end.
That is another turnover. That's 6 now in the opening half.
Again, another good set. They've got a double stagger for Sandage. Petrakis slips out and then just throws the ball to his coach. And these are the things that Ryan Peenenkamp are going to have to clean up going into conference play. He scheduled a ton of games for November. He wanted to see who could handle the pressure, who could perform under the light, and then less games in December so they can practice, get ready for conference play. So those practices, I mean, it's pretty obvious what they have to work on, right? Another moving screen away from the basket. We've seen 50 of those down here so far in the tournament. The big guys, you have to get set, and point guards, you have to wait for your big to get set before you start attacking, or the official's just going to blow that whistle every time. But for Illinois State, I like the ball movement. They're hitting most of their three-point shots. It's just those silly, uncontested turnovers that they have to get out of their game if they want to have a great season.
And when we both had a chance to talk to Coach Pete, that was the first thing he said, got to take care of the basketball. That's one of his big keys, and trying to clean that up
There's a
early in the
pass.
season. Sandage can't get the open look. They had that spell of about 4 straight of threes that they hit, and they've kind of gone cold again here in the latter stages of this opening half. Rawls to the rack. That's his game, man.
He's just outstanding. Those are difficult, low percentage shots for most guys. He's floating and twisting, and good job by Illinois State not fouling him, because those are tough shots.
Petrakis.
My goodness.
That's exactly what the doctor ordered for ISU before we wrap up the first half.
Yeah, what a ball game partner. I mean, this has been outstanding. Both teams playing hard. Illinois State finally finding that three-point rhythm.
Jung with the answer.
Western Kentucky. So many weapons from beyond the arc. Everybody who comes in the game can shoot a three.
Poindexter against Aycock. Manuel with that block. Oh, Rawls lost it. Illinois State gets it back. Now the question is, there's 4 seconds on the shot clock. Now they're going to overrule it and say it was last touched by the Redbirds. So Western Kentucky will get the basketball and a chance for the final shot in this opening half and add to their 1-point lead. And Coach Stansbury wants to burn his first half timeout.
9 Hilltoppers have drilled a 3 this season already. So almost everybody who comes in the game is looking to put those up. And he said with the ineligible player that he had and the foul trouble, he just said it really schematically threw us off yesterday. We just couldn't run the things we wanted to run, and we didn't have a rhythm. So he's got a lot of moving parts he's trying to deal with here. He talked to me at practice the other day and said that, look, I threw the full package at these guys. We have an experienced team. We've got a veteran group. He said a lot of times you just throw a little bit at these guys early in the season and put more things in. He goes, but they've got the full package. But then when our lineup gets changed the way it did early, it was tough for them to handle.
All right, so we'll see Coach Stansbury here setting up that final play to try to add to the 1-point lead before we wrap up the opening 20 minutes.
What's worked for them the best is Rawls attacking the basket or McKnight posting up and kicking out shots to open 3-point shooters. They're going to try to get the ball inside, but good job fronting the post. There's the clear out. They're just going to let him go to work. Guard without fouling.
Knight's got to help. Does. Rebound. And a foul with 1.6 remaining. So McKnight was basically clearing it all out, taking it one-on-one, and Knight came in with the help. And on the rebound, Jun is fouled, and he'll head to the free throw line. He's a good free throw shooter, the sophomore from Senegal. Three-point lead for the Hilltoppers. Burford at the buzzer, no. So Western Kentucky heads into the locker room with a 3-point lead at 38-35, trying to bounce back from that tough loss to open up this tournament play against Akron yesterday afternoon. Very entertaining opening 20 minutes here at John Gray Gymnasium. As the Hilltoppers 3-1 on the season, and they lead at the half by a score of 38-35. Coming up, it's halftime here at John Gray Gymnasium, and we'll be with you for the second half between the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers and the Illinois State Redbirds. Western Kentucky, Illinois State, as we are underway. Second half action, Illinois State and Western Kentucky. McChesney going right after Sharp again.
McChesney can use both hands, and well, that's just been the story so far for Western Kentucky in this tournament. Just Sharp not able to protect the rim the way he's used to, and not contributing at the offensive end. They've got to find a way to get him on the post and get him involved.
Akron facing that double team, so Hamilton was wide open for the three, but a nice little weak side rebound. The shortest guy on the court for Western Kentucky gets the board and the 2 points.
Yeah, the Hilltoppers, those kids are tough, aren't they?
Yes, they are, man.
All 5 guys relentless coming to the offensive glass.
There's the 3, Seneca Knight. And a terrific opening first half. 8 points. Frampton answers.
Great job by McChesney to help off of Sharp to stop the dribble penetration. But, you know, every scouting report has Frampton as the one guy for the Hilltoppers you cannot leave open, and there's just no excuses for leaving him open. Sandage, man, I love to watch this kid play.
He's not afraid to pull it up, is he?
He's just a gamer, isn't he?
He is. Sixth tie of the game. Aycots. Watch out if you get him going. Sandage with the weak side rebound. Still flying on the floor. Keeps it alive. And the foul is called. There's those hustle points we talk about.
You know, Sandage, I mean, he just lifts the game and the tenacity of everybody on his team. I mean, knocks in the open 3, comes flying in, snatches an offensive rebound. Those have been hard to come by, and keeps the possession alive. And right now, he's setting up on this baseline out of bounds, the old blobber. They got to watch for him coming around the corner here for another corner 3.
Sandage again. And Sharp. And the foul is called. That might have been the most aggressive we have seen Jamar in this tournament right now.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he finally got up there and fought for a loose ball. He's just a little bit rattled. If you're Illinois State, well, this is obviously the competition's a lot better. So you think Coach Pete would say this is the best offense they've had all year. They have been sharp with their passes, moving the ball, knocking in the 3-point shot against a very tough defense.
Hamilton keeps it alive, and there's Frampton. And the jump ball call. Possession arrow to Western Kentucky.
You'll remember that play. I mean, Frampton, it's a 50-50 ball. Illinois State decided to look at it. Frampton decided to dive on it. And those are just the hustle plays when you're not playing your best, when you're a little discouraged that you lost yesterday. You got to keep fighting, keep possession of the ball. Let's see what they can do with the possibly a momentum-changing play. Sharp playing with a little more energy, fighting down there on the post.
Offensive foul on McKnight. Colton Sandage with the defense. Lowered the boom of that shoulder, I guess, huh? Lewis can't get the handle. Aycock comes away with it for Western Kentucky. Another IS. Again, there you got that bigger guard working down low in Hamilton, trying to get him the ball to get those mismatches.
Yeah, they're going to pick up a couple charges. they're going to attack the rim. They're going to force whistles. You know, I didn't love the last call, but there's Hamilton again. They're relentless at all 5 positions of attacking the rim. They have so many interchangeable parts. They're parading to the free throw line, and if you're Illinois State, that's one of the first bad turnovers that you've had in this game, just lobbing it into the middle. What's he going to do with it if he catches it there anyway? And then the Hilltoppers just get out and make you pay for that decision. Yeah, Coach Peden over talking to Burford, but he's having the same conversation with him right now. Right. Time and score. This is an important game for us. What's he going to do with it anyway? Get a little bit of rest, think about it, and come back in and make plays. McChesney, can he get involved? Can they get a little pick and pop action, get him a 3-point shot, keep Sharp away from the glass? There it is right there. He's got to let it fly. Nah, he's got to take that shot, Scott.
Now he's open again. Oh, wide open. And Sharp comes down with the second block.
Big fella.
Aycott, again, little size advantage. Sharp, right there. Again, here in this last sequence, a much more aggressive Jamarian Sharp, Western Kentucky. As we take a break, 15:59 left in our second half. The Hilltoppers taking a 5-point lead as Jerry Sharp with his second block of the game.
Change is a natural component that allows for our growth as a people, and we embrace it. In fact, we invite it. Through the many, many years of our journey, we've seen incredible triumphs and we've seen heartbreaking loss, just as you have in your journey. Maybe this is what connects us all. No matter where you might be from, your age, gender.
Has a mismatch with Sharp out on the perimeter. You take it into the rim, it's Sharp that has the advantage. Yep. There it is again. He's got to pull the trigger. There it is. Good shot. Yeah, the Illinois State staff saw the same thing we did. Let's see if they keep working that action. Good recovery by Sharp to challenge the shot.
Now on the defensive end, you're getting these mismatches once again. Hamilton's got to make those shots that the Hilltoppers want to try to run away with it. How does Illinois State, Jess? That's the question. How does Illinois State try to stop that? They have been outscored 20-6 in the paint so far.
Yeah, it's all Hilltoppers in the paint. You have to wall up, show your hands, use your chest. You're not going to win every battle. I think the main thing is guard without fouling. Those are tough shots, but right now, Western Kentucky just more physical and just stronger at almost every position. Here's the same action.
Sandage on the double team. Knight. No. And he gets the offensive foul.
No. Play on, right? Play on. Illinois State wants to flop. Good dribble penetration. That's a flop. There's no way he could run over him like that. That being
Hamilton's
said,
a big dude. We talk about football players out here. He's a stout young man too, man.
I mean, Hamilton's not going to fall with a little ticky-tack contact like that. But maybe you'd come to a jump stop a little sooner.
Aycott getting a lot of touches in the second half, isn't he, Jess?
Yeah, nice move.
Oh, good challenge by Lewis.
No doubt. What a play by Lewis. And Aycott had the advantage. He had the angle. Lewis recovers. Big time play by Lewis. He can be one of the best defensive players in the conference this year. He's got the length, the bounce. He hustles. He can guard 4 and 5 positions. What a recovery. I thought that was an automatic score foul for Akron.
And that's what we talked about, clamping down those points in the paint. Right there, a perfect example of what Illinois State needs to do. McChesney now to Sandage. Shot clock down to 5. He's going to go right after Sharp again, this time using the left hand a little short. From downtown. Woo-wee. Jarris Hamilton.
So many weapons, so much skill, so many shooters just coming at you on every possession.
Nice head fake for McChesney. Now gets the kick out. Knight lowers the shoulder, and they're going to say it's a block. Frampton's going to get it. But look at the amount of time Illinois State has to utilize within the possession clock. I mean, Western Kentucky's defense, we even talked about this, Jess, in the first half. Even when Western Kentucky was up by a point or two, just their demeanor looked like they were losing the game. It looks like a much different team here in the second half.
Yeah, it's really been the energy of Sharp, right? He finally found his game a little bit. He got the big block shot. He's calling for the basketball. They're finally engaged. I mean, they got outplayed in the first half, but they were in the lead.
Yeah,
and that's the trait of a great team.
Trackus. Lewis going right after Sharp. Too strong. Frampton.
We have to get a timeout here. Things getting out of hand. The Hilltoppers protecting the rim, attacking the rim at the offensive end, running the break, and Frampton making them pay at the end of the fast break. McKnight head up. All great point guards survey the court. That is deep. I see you.
And Ryan Peden has to call that timeout. Call off the Dogs right now, because right now it's a 13-point lead for the Hilltoppers with 13:07 left in the second half. Back at the Cayman Islands and the Grand Cayman Islands Classic Basketball Tournament. Second half of our first game, as you see the Hilltoppers with the 13-point.
Their place anytime and beat them, and then, on Selection Sunday, hey, they're not going to get an at-large because they had 2 guys sick and a guy with a rolled ankle going in their championship game, and they get upset. But for those of you who don't follow college basketball a lot until you get to fill out that bracket in March, Western Kentucky, one of the elite programs in the country. They have a veteran team, they're experienced, and they just know how to win.
These are the teams in Western Kentucky and even Illinois State team. These are the teams that most people root for because they're the Cinderella story. That's what makes the NCAA tournament so unique. And like you're saying, Western Kentucky and many teams of their ilk is another block by Sharp, the third of the afternoon. Many teams of their ilk are sitting playing in the NIT when some believe that they are deserving of playing in the NCAA tournament. I can tell you this, doing a ton of mid-major basketball over the years, and knowing coaches past and present, and how they have literally tried to wring the phone off the hook of Power Fives and never get an answer. Never leave messages, never get a phone call back, nothing.
Well, there's just no advantage to a Power 5 to play these guys, because you know you're going to be in for a dogfight. You just look at the physicality of these guys. The coaching staff puts these guys in such great positions to win. And yeah, these, with the transfer portal, the NIL, all these things going on, it has really put these mid-major programs behind the 8 ball, because they recruit and develop these guys. Yep. And then one of these bigger schools comes along and tries to take them from them.
Take another point on this conversation. When we come back, we're at the under-12 timeout as the Hilltoppers have the double-digit lead here at the Cayman Islands Classic Basketball Tournament.
Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me, my lover stands on golden sands and watches the ships that go sailing.
Those Power 5 schools. But it's so important for a mid-major because they're trying to make the field of 68 in November, where a lot of these Power 5s, they don't have this. This is warm-up before conference play starts. The other part of it, when you're a mid-major, is units, because schools aren't collecting those big TV contracts in mid-majors like the Power 5s. So getting those units and getting those teams advancing in the big dance is so huge for those mid-major conferences.
I mean, if you win the regular season in Conference USA or the Missouri Valley, then you should be in the big dance. And unfortunately, you're not.
Point Dexter.
Oh, there he goes.
Rawls. Oh, great job by Jun. Attacking the glass on the offensive end.
I'll tell you, Rawls has been the most impactful player in this game. I mean, even when Western Kentucky wasn't playing well in the first half, he was the one going coast to coast. There he is, coming right into your living room. The speed, the quickness, and just too many points in the paint here in the second half for the Hilltoppers. Illinois State not getting a body on him. They just keep coming at you, but Rawls has been so impressive. He is fearless attacking the rim.
That's 22 points in the paint. And oh, by the way, we're not even counting the amount of points that they have at the free throw line because they were fouled in the paint as well.
Good point, good point. Just the more physical team. And for Illinois State, you get back-to-back possessions where you get a pretty good look from beyond the arc. And just like they started the game cold, they're not able to hit those.
And now 2 for 7 from beyond the arc in the second half of play.
Well, Sharp on the bench. Petrakis needs to get the ball inside. Another missed layup.
Jun from the outside. I like this young man's game, the young man from Senegal.
Talking to Coach Stansberry before the game, he said, you know, this is a really deep team that I have. He goes, one of the deepest I've ever had in my career. And, you know, things not going well for one guy, you bring in another guy who's just as good.
Burford on the drive, and he'll head to the free throw line with 9:52 remaining. But again, when that foul was made, 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Long possessions telling you that Western Kentucky has really stapled it down from a defensive standpoint.
Yeah, just nothing easy for Illinois State. Great job of slithering through the defense, and you know these are automatic. So let's see if he makes this free throw. If they set up that three-quarter court pressure defense, now they're going to sprint back, but they're going to have to find some way to stay in front of the dribble penetration and front the post so they cannot get the ball inside. Just again, it's too easy. This kid is on fire.
You got to force him to the right side. That's the same move going to the left lane every single time. Burford goes, all right, you can do that, Mr. Rawls. Me too.
Burford and Rawls, I mean, you talk about speed and there, the ability to, these are percentage looks. Most of these shots just do this for a living. I mean, just look at the shot. Gets hit.
So the lead for Western Kentucky is at 12 at 62-50. Illinois State wants to try to pick up a little zone full court pressure here. Lander.
Yeah, that's just not the shot that you want against that pressure. Time and possession, but another costly turnover. And here comes Rawls. This isn't going to end well. What a block.
Sandage. And they needed that. Lead down to single digits on the triple from Colton.
There's just something about pressure defense that makes people lose their minds. Just a forced shot by Lander leads to a run out. That was a huge shot by Illinois State. Now they're right back in it. Just a couple possessions. Oh, my word. Forget what I just said.
Jean from the top of the key.
He puts so much pressure on you, inside and out.
Burford going right after him, too. Well, the sophomore from Senegal is opening some eyes here in the second half. Lander will go to the line.
Yeah, that's one of those we were talking about. You just can't bail them out. If they're going to hit a circus shot on dribble penetration, you tip your hat to them. But the one thing you don't want to do if you're Sanders there is foul Lander. There's no chance he's going to make that play falling away. I think the ball hit the side of the backboard, but you send him to the line, you're just giving him freebies.
Lewis coming in for Trackus. Kendall has definitely had a very quiet tournament. Only 2 points again today, Jess. It's crazy. 2 points, 2 rebounds. Rawls with the quick hands as Western Kentucky switching things up and do a little full court pressure. Timeout on the floor. 8 minutes left. Western Kentucky, Illinois State. It's the Cayman Islands Classic Basketball Tournament on Flow Hoops.
Drink it in. Powerful, vibrant, nutrient-rich fuel for healthy, active, experience-rich lives. Each ingredient chosen carefully, every blend crafted masterfully. Nurturing your passion.
This is a guy that's playing the game and getting scoring points inside, outside. Doesn't make any difference. He's an absolute nightmare defensively right now for Illinois State. They can't figure this thing out.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, you can live with him down around the rim, but when he's stepping out and hitting those threes and you've got to extend your defense and then it opens it up for McKnight and Rawls and Lander, it's kind of pick your poison when you're guarding the Hilltoppers. they're going to return the favor here, and they're going to pressure Illinois State. You want to make this pressure pay. You get the ball in and usually beat it with a pass. When they're scrambling defensively, now they're going to slow it up here and run their offense. Got some high horns, pin down action.
Sandage spots up for another triple. Rebound taken by Burford.
Yeah.
Great job on the weak side.
Yeah, he's mastered that shot. I mean, you know, grew up playing against grown men, his dad said. From a very young age, playing rec ball with his dad's friends, and learned how to get the ball up in the air over bigger opponents. Not afraid of anybody. Continues to play like one of the better guards in the country throughout the start of this year.
Oh, there's a triple drive by Rawls. What a shocking development,
Well,
right?
that's got to be a flop, doesn't it? He just fell on the ground.
Well, our officials are going to confer here. Pat Adams, Abigail, and Tony Chiazza.
Now we got technical fouls, and what in the world? McChesney. There's the push by McChesney. They missed that one. Yeah, they missed the first one. I don't know if they called that on McChesney or not. He falls down, and then I don't know if he said something to the official, but we'll have to get this cleared up.
I saw the official go T, and he said 22. So I don't know if Kendall Lewis was the one that actually picked up the technical foul. My focus was actually on the huddle of the officials, and we might try to, I guess they're going to look at the replay here to see if maybe we have a flop. But there was a technical call. Just trying to see if they'll come over and give us the information on the actual call that's been made.
We don't have a great angle on it. It looked like McChesney did push him down. And then I think the technical foul involves something after they separated. Oh, man. Another technical foul called.
Coach Stansberry's now asking for an explanation on what just took place. Well, we had double technicals last night, so it looks like maybe that we're running into that same situation. Hey, Tim. So Tony just explained that we had 2 double technical fouls, just like we had last night. They were reviewing to see if there was a flop. There was no flop, no foul at all. So back to Illinois State basketball after the 2 double technicals. Let's play some basketball. How about that, Jess? Need a traffic cop. Well, that's the freaks out.
I'm still not quite sure what happened there, but we play on.
There's a lot of technicals, but there was no actual foul, and so we play on. It's the best and simplest way I can put it. Burford trying for a 3 attempt. With the flush. Holy cow, and look at that, got Western Kentucky fans on their feet. Holy cow.
Well, this is one of the best fast breaks you'll see all season. Akron pushes it. There's the lob. I thought he overthrew him. A one-hander snaps the rim. Oh, this is the angle you want to see right here. Right at you. What a catch and throw down. Rocking the rim. I see you. Marshall Jr.
I mean, that bunch behind the Western Kentucky bench, I mean, that just went nuts. It's the loudest we heard from them all day, and rightly so.
I mean, these guys, I mean, they have some of the most competitive practices in the country.
Oh, I would think so.
I mean, it's their third five can all play.
Unusual miss for Illinois State. They're one of the top free throw shooting teams in the entire country. In fact, I think that's the first miss they've had this afternoon. They only had 2 yesterday in a loss to LSU. Lander, too strong. Now you got numbers here.
Now you got 5 on 4. You probably want to attack in that situation with Lander on the floor, but Lander's got to be smart at this time of the game, take better shots. And here comes Akai right at you. He is a handful.
Yes, he is. Got a ton of touches in the opening 8, 9, 10 minutes of this one, but been relatively quiet since he's been back in the game. I think it might have been the first miss John's had all day. Knight. Seneca to the free throw line. 5:35 remaining.
You got a 15-point lead if you're Western Kentucky, and you get the big alley-oop fast break to get the crowd on their feet, and then you lose your discipline a little bit on the last 2 possessions. You want to work the shot clock. You want to take those shots if they're open. But Lander comes in, a low percentage shot, then the wild 3-point shot. So let's see right here again if Illinois State can put a little pressure on them, try to speed them up, try to turn them over. If you're the Hilltoppers, this is a valuable possession right here. You want to use the shot clock to your advantage with this type of lead.
Coach Stansbury going right now with a hockey line change as he brings 4 new guys on the floor.
You know, 4 new guys, no letdown at all.
No.
Here's the pressure defense.
Good hands by Burford. And a lot of times, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, Jess, but when you do a zone 1-2-2 zone full court pressure, isn't it more just to kind of get them off the rhythm a little bit from an offensive standpoint?
You get the ball going east and west instead of north and south. You get the ball out of the true ball handler's hands. You shorten the shot clock, and you make it so you have to get into your offense a little later than you're comfortable doing. But you're right, a lot of times by just putting it on, the point guard gets uncomfortable and makes a mistake.
Acott with 4 left on the shot clock. Oh! Yeah. That was challenged by McChesney, and he drills it.
You know, make or miss, I really like the possession. They used the entire clock. They put a lot of pressure on the defense, and they just have some guys who know how to play basketball. Keep your eye on Sharp here. He's guarding a point guard. Nice job staying in a stance. That's good defense by Sharp. A better shot.
Well, they had that mismatch there with McChesney and the smaller guard.
You know, it's interesting for Illinois State going forward. You feel like they might be able to press a lot more as conference play comes around. They have some interchangeable parts to do that, to speed up the game. And then McChesney, can he take the next step? He is extremely versatile. He picks up a cheap foul right there, but can shoot the basketball. He's been impressive in this tournament. You got to run more offense through him. He's going to go take a break, but I've liked his game in these first couple games.
think what impressed me, at least early on in this game here today, is the fact that he was very aggressive against Jamar. He was not backing down and said, oh, here's a 7-foot guy, I better watch it. No. And he was, remember, he hit that long three in the early stages when they had that 5 straight threes made in that first half. He just caught it and popped it. But then he would go inside on Sharp as well.
You're exactly right. McChesney and Petrakis put a lot of pressure on 4s and 5s because you have to follow them around the perimeter. They're very skilled. With Kendall Lewis struggling against this type of competition, you know, there's things for this coaching staff to think about. Do you play him as much because he's more one-dimensional? He's not going to stretch the defense. He's such an elite rebounder. I mean, he's got to play heavy minutes. And he's one of the best players in the conference. But those packages with the other 2 guys are going to be fruitful going forward. They can score from the perimeter more. It opens up the paint as well to have that 5-out offense for Burford and company without Lewis in there on the post.
Timeout. 3:47 remaining in our opening game as the Hilltoppers have a 16-point lead over ISU.
Change is a natural component that allows for our growth as a people, and we embrace it. In fact, we invite it. Through the many, many years of our journey, we've seen incredible triumphs and we've seen heartbreaking loss, just as you have in your journey. Maybe this is what connects us all. No matter where you might be from, your age, gender, beliefs, we're all experiencing these changes. And we are better for having experienced them. We connect more readily and easily, bringing us together just like family, giving us strength and unity, and understanding that we are better as a community. So, we invite you into our homes, all of them, from West Bay to Georgetown. From the minute you step off the ship to the minute you leave island, you can always have us with you. No matter where you are, Tortuga, always by your side.
Cayman Islands, and it is the Cayman Islands Classic Basketball Tournament after a 2-year hiatus. One second left on the shot clock, and Illinois State will get it back.
Well, I think Coach Peden, he's got a lot to work with. He's got some good tape that he can study and teach his guys from this week of this elite tournament. I like the pressure defense. I think they have the depth, the toughness, and the quickness to play it a lot more, to speed the game up. They've got great guards. So that's something he's going to have to look at as he's breaking down tape. And if they're a team that's going to have to hit the three-point shot as well. In the first half, they were hitting it. They've gone cold in the second. But that pressure defense is something they might be able to continue to utilize.
And as you pointed out at the beginning of the broadcast, Seneca Knight, I think, is a big key for them. They want to make some strides as the season continues. At the buzzer, and the bucket is made.
Whenever you're rebuilding the way he is, I mean, you're playing with house money this first year, right?
Yeah.
You can experiment, try different things, play the brand of basketball the kids want to play. There's another example. I just like when they get up and get extended, it seems like they play with a lot more energy defensively.
I know
the story in the second half, has been the Hilltoppers. 10 threes, 26 points in the paint this game. 9 Hilltoppers have scored, and right when you think you have them bottled up, like you said, they've got these hockey substitutions. 4 or 5 more guys come in who are not considered role players.
No.
I mean, they are aggressive and they are on the attack.
Go back to a zone, which I think is the first time we've seen that today. Getting back to your point with Illinois State, Coach Peden kind of alluded to it. I know you talk to just as many coaches as I do. and especially guys that are just coming into programs. And there's a ton of them this year in college basketball.
Yeah.
It's also trying to establish a culture.
Yeah.
And I've seen this so many times where they'll, even before the transfer portal, well, they'll basically just clean house, because that culture they want to create is not only on the floor here, but it's also in that locker room and also with the team away from the basketball court, away from the basketball arena.
Akron got fouled 6 times on that play. He finally got the 6th foul to be
6
called.
times the charm, right?
Yeah, but when you come in and take over a program, that was a fascinating talk with Coach Bean the other night. He's like, look, the first month, I just set all kinds of standards academically, training schedules, nutrition, all of those things that matter. And he said, at the end of 4 or 5 weeks, we sat down with the staff and we just evaluate who was all in. Because we didn't even really have to talk to him about it. You could just see the separation. This group of guys were all in. This other group of guys, they were thinking about leaving, and he just let them go. And that's what you have to do when you're rebuilding a program. You got to have everybody on the same page, and now he can build it the way he wants to build it. He's got to be proud of his guys here. They're not going to win this game. But they came out and fought. They set the tone, and they were overwhelmed yesterday. They were not overwhelmed in this game in the first half. They played extremely well, a lot to build upon. He's going to get it done there. I'm very excited for him and the coaching staff that he's built. And they got some guys who really know how to work and trying to get up to this Western Kentucky level. They'll build a mid-major program, but it's never been tougher. And we talked about it. All of these schools are going to come looking for your best players. Yep. And, if they leave, they leave. That's just the way it is.
That's the nature of the beast. You talk to any of these coaches, they'll say, you can't anticipate 100% of your roster coming back. Those days are long gone. I think one of the things that people are so intrigued with the Illinois State program and Ryan getting that chance in Central Illinois, you have, and you know this, terrific basketball throughout the state of Illinois. Yeah. But especially you got that pipeline in Chicago. You start building that up with recruiting, and you can put yourself into a pretty awesome position with that pipeline alone of potential high school recruits going to Central Illinois. McKnight lost her shoe. Hate when that happens. 4 on 5. Akron says, put your shoe on, Davion. It's okay. I got it from here. With both shoes on, he's fouled.
Frampton's got 14 points. Akron has 14 points. Rawls, though, to me, was the guy who changed the tempo of this game. Western Kentucky, they were struggling in the first half. It is very
demeanor
difficult.
was bad.
Yeah, they came here to win this tournament. They got beat yesterday. He's the one who just kept coming and kept the pace of this game up where they wanted it to be. And when you have a guy like McKnight who can finish games, they're not going to lose much this year. This is one of the better teams in the country. The Hilltoppers have been impressive. Fun team to watch.
Got some interesting games coming up as the flush for Seneca Knights. They got Louisville on December 14th at the Yum Center, at South Carolina on December 22nd. Those are 2 biggies for them, really. You think about it, before conference play gets underway for them on January 5th.
Well, the talk among some of those in the know is that it's on the table to increase it to 25% of college teams getting into the NCAA tournament, which would be around
about 88, something like that.
Teams, and I think that would be a good step for teams like Akron, Western Kentucky, to be in that tournament every year when they deserve to be in it, instead of just having to, lose 2 or 3 games in a year and then getting upset in their conference tournament. It puts a lot of pressure on them. I mean, you win your conference league, you should be in.
By 12, and Emmanuel not happy with his performance right there at the free throw line. That shows you the young man's competitive nature. And they're quick hands, up by 12, time running down, still trying to go for a steal. So Illinois State, as Jess mentioned, good fight in the first half, but Western Kentucky kind of taking things over in the second half. And for the Redbirds, they will move over to tomorrow's game, which will be our first of our final 4 games of the final day of the Cayman Islands Classic Basketball Tournament. They'll play at 11 a.m. They'll take on the team that falls between Tulane and Rhode Island. That's our 5 o'clock tip this afternoon, as the Hilltoppers will run it out, and they will pick up the victory here this afternoon. 78-66 is the final, as the Hilltoppers win their 4th game of the season, and they will play tomorrow at 1:30 in the afternoon. They'll take on the winner of that Rhode Island Tulane matchup, again coming up at 5 o'clock. And don't go anywhere, because good one coming up right after this one at 1:30 Eastern time, as we will have Akron, the Zips, taking on the LSU Tigers. Again, 1:30 Eastern time. We'll have that broadcast for you right here on Flow Hoops. But congratulations to Coach Rick Stansberry and the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers as they win it here this afternoon over Illinois State. And they will play in the 1:30 game. Illinois State will play at 11 a.m. Central. 78-66 is the final here at John Gray Gymnasium. Congratulations to Coach Stansberry on the victory. Right now, he's with Jess.
Coach, dominant performance in the second half. 26 points in the paint. Your guys could get to the rim at will.
Well, as we talked before the game, we'd only be better today. We weren't very good yesterday for a lot of different reasons. Our challenge today was just early game, coming off a tough loss in game yesterday. Can we get back up off that mat? And I'm proud of our guys when we got back up and played with the energy we played with.
Now, speaking of energy, Rawls just relentless in the open court. I thought he really gave you a boost in the